Hi everyone, and welcome to Baseball Alberta Spordle Training Series. In this series, we will be going over all things to know about the Spordle platform, and in this specific episode, we'll be going over a Spordle overview and how to master the basics to Spordle. So, to get started, let's head over to Spordle. So if you end up Googling Spordle, the Spordle account should pop up. And when you go into your Spordle account, if you haven't created an account, it's very similar to a lot of different software companies and how to create an account. So if you don't have one, you can sign up for an account and follow those steps to create your own account. If you already have one, then you can go ahead and sign in using your email and password, and then select login, and this will open you up to go into your Spordle. Now, within Spordle, there's three different platforms. You're going to have Spordle ID, which is your registrations and your rostering and your teams and all of that kind of stuff. And with Spordle Play, that's going to be scheduling. That's going to be for venue management and things like that. And then there's also Spordle Page, which will be the public web page that all of your stuff is hosted in. And then there's also going to be Spordle Account, which is the account that every member will have. Spordle Account is your main account, like I said, for a parent or an umpire or a association registrar or any role you have. Everybody's going to have a Spordle account. So this is where you're going to be able to track different members. So if you have specific members within your profile, you can select them and you can view profile under Baseball Alberta. You'll notice that there's a few things that will say missing. If we do require these things, that means you'll have to update them and you're going to be able to add them yourself. You can add emergency contacts. So coach, father, mother, you can add whichever role or contact type. You can add the phone number, the email. You can allow the communication to that individual, and you can add them as an emergency contact, and you can add as many contacts as you would like. Now going into documents, you can add any documents that we may require. We will add different ones as time goes on. And then registrations, this will show all the registrations that you may have signed up for in the past. Waivers, this will also be where you can view all the waivers, whether it's a Baseball Alberta waiver that you've signed in the past or a waiver that's made by your own association. So that's your members tab. In hockey, if you have some players that are registered through Spordle, as a parent, you might have a few different ones, and each one is specific to baseball or hockey. So under your same Spordle account, you're going to have your hockey or you're going to have your baseball. Those are two separate numbers. So if you look at one specific one, I'm going to have a specific number for hockey and I have a profile for hockey. So, and then if I go into my baseball, I'm going to have a different profile for my baseball. We have manage. So there's going to be a few different things within here. There's going to be a clinic management page. So if you're a part of any sort of umpire clinics or anything like that, you'll be able to manage the different clinics as a instructor or a participant. So then moving on into your calendar, this is where you'll find all upcoming coaching clinics and anything you've basically signed up for in the past. And then on to purchases, you basically have all past transactions that you've made. And if you click on the blue, that'll show you the specific invoice for what exactly you paid for. Now, if I go into settings, this will be where you can edit your personal settings. So your email, your name, your profile picture, anything like date of birth, gender, preferred language, mobile phone, address, and then this is also where you can update your password. So that's the general overview of the Spordle account. And on your dashboard is where you'll see where you have access to different pages. And so the Spordle page is where you'll find all the registrations created. So if I dive quickly into Baseball Alberta Spordle page, you'll notice that this is where you'll find all the information for all of our organizations. So if I go under the Baseball Alberta Organizations tab and make sure that the tree is selected, it's the easiest way to view it, you can go into each zone and see whichever specific association you're looking for. And this will help out with registration in the future. And if someone goes directly to us from Baseball Alberta, they'll be able to see exactly what association they want to find, and then they can register from there. Now, all the registrations will be under Register tab, and you can register. Right now we have our winter camp opened up, so you can register for winter camp or whatever registrations you may have opened up at that time. In the future, we will be giving access as an admin to the Spordle page, so this will give you the ability to edit this entire page, custom banners, custom colors, custom menus, and different things like that, different partners, and so that'll give you access into your own little mini website for your association. Now moving on to Spordle ID. Spordle ID, if we go hit manage, this will bring us into the actual Spordle ID section. So your main dashboard is going to be all information with regards to registrations, online stores, your teams, your rosters, and this is going to be released very soon. It's not ready at the time this video was posted, but it will be coming soon to your own personal dashboards. If you scroll down, you'll see support requests. The support request section is basically where you're going to be able to send Spordle a support ticket. And so doing that, you can hit create and you can select a subject, or you can type in a subject and you can type in a description of the issue that you're facing. You can also add screenshots in the document section, and then you can hit send. When you're doing this, make sure that you send as much detail as possible, as that'll help Spordle find the solution for you. This is the best way to communicate with Spordle. They quickly respond to these, and they have a team working pretty much 24/7 for any sort of request that comes their way. So if you do need a support request and you can't contact the Baseball Alberta office, this is a great way to get an answer for something that might be happening within the system. Another piece that I'd like to show is the top bar here. So for me, I have different permissions, so these three purple things we can forget about. That will not be given to our association admins, but you'll have all these other extra features. So if you click your profile picture, you can head into your account and you can see your support requests, your communication tab, or you can sign out. If you hit help, this will give you a help center tab that will basically take you directly to the documentation of what is on that page. So this is the best way to learn in this platform. Any page that you're on is linked directly to a help section. So if you're unsure of where you are within the system, you can just quickly hit this little help button and then send over to the direct documentation with an explanation of what you're going to see on that page. The other piece of the help is you're going to see that there's training for Baseball Alberta. This will be a calendar that might hold sessions that we're holding or Q&A type sessions, so you can hop onto those live with Spordle training experts and myself if requested, and then also another area where you can select a support request. Then going into notifications, you can select notifications, see all past notifications, see all of your sport requests, and then also dive into settings. So this is where you can update all your preferences with regards to what emails and what notifications are going to be sent to your direct profile. There's lots, so make sure you go in there and hit save changes when you're done. Then the next piece is going to be your communications spot. So this is anything that you've sent directly or received messages back from. And this tab is going to help you go directly to your communications inbox or get a brief preview of the things that are being sent to you. And then if you go into news, this is a great feature that Spordle has, and it gives you the ability to view any news sent in by Baseball Alberta or any Spordle specific staff, and it's sent to all the users that have access to Spordle ID. So for example, in December, we had a drop-in Q&A session news piece come up, and when you log in, this pop-up will come up no matter what, and you'll read it, and then you'll get an update on whatever the case may be. Another example would be any improvement updates that are made. They'll give you a little link here that you can select to show what Spordle has updated in the past month, and then also any updates from Baseball Alberta directly as well with regards to things that we want to see within the platform. Now, moving on to the actual Spordle organization profile. If you go into manage, you can get there by hitting organization, or you can get there by just selecting this piece. So if I'm in a different tab, I can select admin and I go right into my organization profile. Now this page is going to be crucial. The biggest thing is that this entire section is updated and addressed year to year, and if not month to month. As soon as things are updated for your association, this is where we will know those changes. So we don't have to email back and forth anymore for small things like email changes or phone number changes, website updates, things like that. This is all going to be found under our general tab here. So to edit any of this, select edit, type in any changes made, and then hit save. Now this section is going to be super important, because if we dive into our main website, this section is going to tie back into a new feature we have that is find your nearest association. So you can type in whatever postal code and where you're from and hit enter, and this is going to spit out exactly different locations that are closest to you and where you can register. And these links are all going to be directly from that main overview in Spordle ID. So it's super important that we have those set up properly so that it can tie back into our actual website and people can know and have the updated contact information for each association. Now heading into users. Users is a big piece in giving access to the system. So on our website, we do have a Spordle user request form if your association has not gained access to that. So if you're in our website, you can go to About, Registration. This will take you into our Spordle section. And if you don't have access, you can go directly to our Spordle ID user form. And this will allow you to type in your name, association name, your full name, your email, and then any additional users that you'd like, hit submit, and this will come directly to our desk where we can then provide you with more information and access into your specific Spordle account. Now, you can also add any specific user yourself by hitting add, and then you can select multiple add, or if you're just adding one, you can hit add, selecting the role, selecting the email, verifying the email, and then adding them in, or you can delete the previous ones, and then this will make sure that everything within the system is updated and the people that you would like access to have access to the system will have access. Now the staff tab is a little bit different. The staff tab is specifically for individuals that are added as presidents, any board members, any office staff members, or things like that, umpire coordinators. You will have 5 specific mandatory organization roles that you'll have to add, and this will have to be updated year to year. So you'll notice if you hover over missing mandatory roles, you'll see 5 different options. Those all need to be added. Now if you don't have all those roles will have to be added to one specific person. So if you have a president and that's it, you will add all of those roles, ensure that you are receiving the proper information for any specific communication that will be coming up. Moving on, if you go into your communication, this will allow you to compose a communication to anyone within your organization as a user or a staff. Now, if you want to send a communication to more people within your membership, you can select back manage and then members, and this will open up the members tab. Now this is where you can search for anybody within the organization or anybody within Baseball Alberta. If your association isn't the primary association, then you will not be able to see full details on the player, but if they are, then you'll be able to select full details and open up their own personal profile. So for example, if I search a name, hit enter, I can go into this player profile and select their ID number, and it'll come up and have their own personal profile. So every player that registers will have this, and this is where you can overlook all of their primary information with regards to their address, their date of birth, their gender, all of that type of stuff. You can hit edit and edit anything within here. This information will be added when they go through their registration, or you can manually edit here. So if there is an address update or an email update, that will have to go through you to change within, as an association within the member profile. Scrolling down, you can see there's more fields that are to be added. There's also a section for contacts, so this is your emergency contacts, your family relations, and then any memos. So if I add a memo, I can type whatever I want. So if I have a note I need to write about a player, I can add that under there, and it'll save, and it'll be shown to anybody under the organization as a user. If you head into registrations, this section will show you everything there is to do with a member registration. Transactions, you'll see any transactions that have to do and that the player has made in the past. Under membership fees, you'll see any membership fees that are attached to a profile. So these could be Baseball Alberta membership fees or Baseball Canada membership fees, which will be in the system as well. And then you can go into teams. Any previous teams that the player was on will be listed here. Any qualifications that the player or coach or member may have. And then any history with regards to background checks, player transfers, and things of that nature will be under this tab. Anything in waivers will be found here, and then you'll see which waivers that member signed or did not sign. Then moving on into teams. For teams, you will basically have any teams that are added under each year. So currently I'm in the 2025 season. Make sure that when you're doing anything, the 2024 or current season is selected, as this will be where the players and the teams are located. Now if I go into 2025, that's going to be for the 2025 calendar season. So if I need to open up a registration, we need to make sure that we're in 2025. For clinics, any clinics that are created will be found under this tab. Online registration is where you will find all your online registrations for the current season. And in the future, we will have a video out on this. Now moving on to the task section. This is where you will find any specific tasks that you need to complete as an association. Currently, we are working on a transfer process, and that process and workflow will be communicated in a separate video in the future. Currently, you won't have to worry about tasks as we don't have workflows created yet for that. So in the future, we will communicate any and create any videos that are necessary for the tasks section. Under catalog, this is where you will create any registration fees for the season or any winter camps or anything with regards to the online store. We will be going over this in a future episode. Under the reports tab, this is where you'll find any information on registration or fines or qualifications or team lists and things like that. Most reports are very in-depth, and so you'll have to go through each report and figure out which one is going to be best for you. And we've actually already made a video on reports to give you an overview of what reports you'll be needing for next season. Going into settings, a lot of this stuff will be set up by Baseball Alberta, so you won't have to worry too much about it, but it will show you any platform roles, any seasons created, any activity seasons. So each main activity season, the activity seasons are directly connected to your registrations. So if you select a registration that's a regular season, That's going to attach your membership fee to that, and that will be explained further in depth in a future video. And then all of the other ones are not going to capture that registration fee. One other thing to make sure that you're aware of, we do have a Baseball Alberta Spordle Handbook created under our virtual handbook. So if you head over to our website and scroll down, it'll be the first link here. You can head into our virtual handbook, and you can head up over into resources, Spordle Handbook, and this will be your in-depth guide into setting up your season within Spordle. The Spordle Handbook will give you an in-depth breakdown of everything that will be required by Baseball Alberta for each coming season. Under the table of contents, you'll notice that there's a lot of different sections. If you select any link within there, it'll take you directly to that section and give you a basic brief overview. Now, within each section, our goal is to have a specific video made up under that section, and that is being worked on right now. So in the future, you'll be able to scroll through and watch each specific video to give you a better breakdown and a more specific breakdown for each section for the future. So that's a wrap for our Spordle overview. Now, if you have any other questions, please check out and be active on our YouTube channel, as that is where all of the information and extra training videos and on-demand videos will be hosted. Our goal is to create as many videos as we can on each section to make it effortless for our membership to be able to learn this in-depth platform. We want to make sure the experience for our members is as good as we can possibly make it. So stay tuned for future videos, and thanks for watching.